So what do we got going tonight? Going to resharpen my G&G Hawk M.U.D. knife with my new silicon carbide stones from Gritomatic. We're going to be using the 400, 600, and 1200 grits. Before we get started, I need to clean this guy off. So of course, in the pursuit of cleaning this, I slipped and cut my thumb. That being said, this knife had so much stuff caked in and gunked on it, I actually had to use a Brillo pad to scrub it clean. In doing so, a lot of the battle scars that it had came out, so it doesn't look as beat up as it did previously. However, that stone wash that was existing is kind of muted and dulled out now. So, trade-offs, trade-offs. I really wasn't concerned with the battle scars, but at the same time, not really concerned with the stone wash either, so it is what it is. It's just a happy little coincidence that that occurred. This is a 400 Gritomatic Silicon Carbide stone. I already dulled the edge once I cut myself. We'll go ahead and do it one more time just for good measure. And I'm just gonna give these stones a whirl and see how they work. Now, I did recondition these. Gritomatic flattens them before they arrive. However, they use a really fine grit when they're finishing, so the surface is really smooth. Problem with that is there's no aggression in it. And with a coarse grit stone, I want it to cut. So I went back over it with my silicon powder and a sheet of glass and roughed up the texture. This stone actually feels kind of soft. It doesn't have that hard density that I'm used to feeling out of the Gritomatic stones. I don't know if that's just because of the coarse texture coming off, or if this stone actually has a little softness to it in comparison to the others. Time will tell, as it has a habit of doing. Formed a burr in a few spots, so I'm going to go ahead and switch sides just to keep things even. Okay, I've now got a full burr on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and flip again. Make sure I get a burr on the other. I've now got a full burr on that side. Do some finishing passes and we will switch stones. When I say the stone feels soft, it's actually feeling very friable. This reminds me very much of a crystalline fine side. That's exactly what this stone feels like. So if you've ever felt a crystalline fine or sharpened on it, that's exactly the feedback and the texture I'm getting from this stone. Alright, here we have the Gritomatic 600 grit. Again, I lap this stone and condition the surface. This one doesn't feel quite as friable as the 400 grit. I'm not getting that kind of soft feel that I was experiencing. Got a burr. Got a burr. This is going to be my final stone. It's the 1200 grit. I did not condition this surface. I left it smooth. These stones really work fast. I am pretty much done. I'm going to do some finishing passes. I'm going to strap on 2 micron CBN emulsion. And just as we did last time, I'm just going to do a 1 cut test, just for giggles, to see where it's at. And it says 85. I'll take that. Being a 1200 grit stone, obviously we're going to have some really matte-like finishes. You can really see my poor bevel holding, or my poor consistency right here. Like all of the other Gritomatic stones, I like them. Now that 400 grit feels a little too friable for my personal preference. However, as I used it, I didn't see it shedding a lot of grit. So it may just be a texture thing since I did condition it. Once that conditioning wears down a little bit, it may break in real nice and give me what I'm looking for. As it stands though, I'm not super happy with the 400 grit. The 600 was fantastic, the 1200 was fantastic. I got no complaints of either of those stones. As per usual, you cannot go wrong with Gritomatic. Those guys have a winning formula, in my opinion, and I hope they continue to make more grits available. I would really like to see something higher than 2500 grit. 4K, 5K, 6K. If you can get that in silicon carbide, now you're talking. I appreciate you guys checking out my video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them below. Y'all have a good one.